You can open the panel. I love you so much too. Hi. Hopefully our weirdo second fan base is not here, but if they are here, they better be tapping. Hi Lex, thank you. Okay. Hi T, thank you. I still have on my outside clothes and not my pajamas yet. Hi guys, welcome in. Hi Shika, hi Jay, hi Peaches. Thank you for the likes. Okay, y'all, I know that I'm a little after 8, but it's because I had to finish the Married to Medicine reunion, guys. Hi Ari. Listen, T, I said it's motivation for me. So if I stay in my clothes from the day, then I'll want to put on my pajamas so I won't be on here forever. Hi Ari, hi Mama, hi Tata. Thank you for the reposts, thank you for the shares, thank you for the likes, you guys. I want to get us to 25K ASAP so we can open the panel, because I know the girlies, the gays, the days, they want to come in here and yap to me about the reality TV stuff, baby. Period, right? Period. I just finished the Married to Medicine reunion, y'all. I kind of loved it. Hi, dark skin love girl. And you know what? I'm shocked that we're only getting 2. Oh, Shantae, I'm so sorry, friend. This is my penance. This is my penance for making an event yesterday and then being like, I can't do it. Hi, Miva. Thank you so much, my love. What did I do yesterday? I played Project Makeover damn near all day. Hi, Charlene. Listen, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Hi, Mia. Listen, thought I was like, get somebody else to do it. Baby, I can't. Did I ever go out on Saturday night? I, in fact, did not go shake my ass, y'all. I did not. Oh, depressing. Hi, hello, Kelly. Thank you so much, my love. I'm going to try. You know what it is, y'all? I still have clients on Saturdays right now. And some of my clients are 8 a.m. clients. So I would prefer to go out on a Friday night. You know what I mean? I would prefer to go out on a Friday night, but I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Because when I go out, baby, I be outside. Hi, Noel. Hi, Gigi. I be outside, baby, okay? You will catch me back home right before the sunrise, baby. I'm out. Bitch, we outside. That's me when I be outside. You know what I'm saying? Sean say no. I know the people, they're so crazy. So I can't do no 5 a.m. get home, 6 a.m. get home, and then have an 8 a.m. client. So I ain't been throwing ass like I like to. And I used to have better boundaries around that. I used to be like, I ain't seeing nobody at no 8 o'clock in the goddamn morning. But then it was like, would I rather give up my morning or my afternoon? My morning. Wait, dark skin leopard girl, not too much. Don't repeat it. But yes. I'm telling you, when I be outside, I be outside. But I do like a little day party vibe too. Don't get me wrong. I love a little middle of the day. You know what? Let me make sure my phone is not gonna start making noise. I love me a little middle of the day, get cutesy, a little grown and sexy, you know, vibe. And like drinking during the daytime is a whole, that shit hit different. Okay. Hi, Tracy. So yeah. Listen, shit be closing hella early out here too. You just gotta find something else to you. You just gotta, you know, you gotta know the people that be like, where the people be at after the people supposed to be in the house. Cause it's always an after hour spot, y'all. Always an after hour spot. Hi, Erica. Hi, Lene. Okay, our goal is 25K, y'all. We are almost there. Hi, Grace. Okay, Married to Medicine. I'm gonna give my thoughts before the panel comes up because you know my panelists, they be on one in a good way. In a good way. Everybody loves my panel. My panel's bomb. Period. Okay, Married to Medicine. Hi, Shello. Listen, hi, Whiteria. I think this might be a hot take, y'all. I think this might be a hot take. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not really fucking with Mimi and Steve. I feel like they're weird. And I say that as someone that is also in mental health field, right? She is a psychiatrist. That is different. That means that she can actually prescribe medicine. I cannot prescribe medicine, okay? But as I'm listening to the words coming out of her mouth that say, I don't want to be on all the time. I don't want to be a psychiatrist to my friend. I'm here to be a sister. I'm here to be a friend. But I'm watching you do something different than the words that are coming out of your mouth. And have y'all ever heard the phrase, listen, bad all the time? My thing is, if it is unsolicited advice, it's criticism in your friend group, right? We're not talking about Mimi being on the internet and centering content around observations. She is, yes, you can, Lady Russell hat, not do your job. I literally make an intentional, conscious effort to not therapize. And if I feel like I'm about to give a therapist answer, I literally will say to my friends, I'm not trying to therapize you. Here's what I'm wondering though. I always approach from a place of curiosity. If I feel like I'm in therapy mode, right? Thank you so much, Jennifer. Mimi making the comments that she has made about Eugene and Toya's marriage, I think it's disingenuous to say, Gigi, you're so funny. I think it's disingenuous to say that they're coming from a place of non-judgment. I feel like that's not the truth, right? Because I said to y'all, I thought it was Steve. Thank you, dark skin lover girl. I said to y'all that I thought it was Steve, or maybe I said it to Chris. It don't matter. The point is, I heard the comment that was like, oh, your wife talks to you like that or something. I was like, I think it was either King or it was Steve. It was Steve. You're coming from a place of judgment because of what you, thank you so much. It's like my favorite color. You're coming from a place of judgment because of whatever you want to be true in your own life. Oh my God, we're at 25K. Go ahead and request up, y'all, so we can open up the panel. Y'all did that fast. Go ahead and take a little tappy tap break. So you're coming from a place of judgment. And here's the thing. Therapists that tell you that they can't turn it off are fucking lying to you. They're fucking lying. Here's the thing. I'm almost always thinking it in my head. It does not always come out of my mouth. Because the reality is, even when you're in session, not everything in your fucking head comes out of your mouth. Why? Because you're measuring yourself. You're determining what is best for the therapeutic dynamic and relationship. I will let y'all up in just a second. You're determining that even in the therapy space. So you're not saying everything that you think. So to tell me that you can't turn that off when you're with your friends, you're fucking lying. You're lying because you tap in and out of certain parts of you therapeutically, even in the therapy space. Huh? No. Now, maybe what you can't turn off is that measuring. Maybe, you know, you are a little bit more filtered than you like to be, whatever. But I just don't feel like I feel like that's insincere to say that you can't help it except to therapize your friends, right? And I think that, you know, this is not someone that is paying you. This is not, just some of the things they say. Hi, Proverbs 31. Some of the things that they say, thank you for the gifts, y'all. Thank you for the likes, are just unnecessary. You know what I mean? And the reality is you're only, and sorry, I have a lot of thoughts about Mimi and Steve. You're only having the reaction that you're having to Toya and Eugene because you do think that there's a way that somebody is supposed to be as a wife. And so from that place of judgment, you are then making statements to your friend, right? You lean into your femininity. What does that mean? What does that mean? Light-skinned black woman, what does that mean? I'm always gonna clock the light brights. I don't care. Y'all know I stay on our necks. Because what does that mean to lean into your femininity? If you are frustrated with the person because you're a feminine person, you can't ever actually be mad? That's unfair. That's unfair. Right? So I'm not really fucking with them. Right? I so appreciate her telling her story of her child and the fatigue that it places on the family. Because even being an expert, even being the person that like knows the things, it doesn't make you not human, and you still experience all the things a lot of the same ways that other people do. Having the information does not make you immune to the experience of the moment or the thing or the behavior or the whatever, right? I don't think that I don't think it makes her a bad therapist, y'all. I think she's being a bad friend. I think she's being a bad friend to Toya. And then the lack of accountability, I wasn't really fucking with that. Trying to act like you didn't say anything and acting like it didn't come from a place of judgment. I don't like that. At least just own the shit. You know what I'm saying? Hi, P. I am well. I think she can be a great therapist and be a bad friend. Well, Toya, I think listen, yes, and we all know the difference between a real fucking question and a rhetorical question. Ain't nobody dumb. Ain't nobody stupid. When Toya said, well, how else am I supposed to say it to him to get him to do what I'm asking him to do? She wasn't asking no fucking real question. And as a clinician, it's not my job to be your fucking therapist. So I'd have been like, girl, I get it. You're frustrated. Y'all are frustrated. And Contessa said the most true statement. Real friends would have been like, you know what? Time to wrap it up, y'all. Hi, Deshauna. Welcome in. Or Deshaun, I'm sorry. Welcome in. Welcome in. Real friends would have been like, you know what, y'all? Time to wrap it up. The party is over. They are now in a place where they need to tend to whatever is happening between them. They don't need to be a spectacle for us. Contessa was spot on. Now, what Contessa's not spot on about was her fucking gaslighting. No, that's what I'm saying, bad, is I agree with Contessa. She was not spot on with her fucking gaslighting Brandy. Girl, don't play in my face. We all watched that episode when you got in your feelings because you had already been upset about your man not playing. My man hasn't ever done anything for me. Ain't never planned nothing for me. He don't love me, right? She didn't say that. I'm just playing. But like, we all listened to that for multiple episodes. And then when Brandy was grateful to her husband and was like, you know, tell my husband thank you, which I probably wouldn't have done that. I would have thought that shit was weird too, but I would have just said thank you. I wouldn't have tried to downplay her moment. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have tried to be like, girl, he ain't even do shit. This ain't shit. I'm thanking him for chicken wings. Like, girl, you're trying to play in her pockets and I don't like that. And now you're trying to gaslight her as though that's not what you was doing. Don't lie. That's what you were doing. Don't lie. I would have thought it was weird and I still would have been like, thank you, we appreciate dinner, but that's just because I don't believe in thanking men too often. Just kidding. you can't give them no inches, you know, they be wanting to make that shit a mile. So just kidding. Hi, Deidre. So I would have thought it was weird, but I would have said thank you and I would have kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, girl. Whatever. Simone and Jackie. Oh my gosh. I am literally praying I'm not praying. I'm just kidding, y'all. Because y'all be liking to clip me and twist my shit. I truly hope the friendship is over. I said it. I said it. Because the way that Jackie has deride that fence for years. Because y'all know me. Why do I want the relationship to end? Y'all know me well enough to know the answer to this question. Because I can't stand a neutral asshole. Pick a side, bitch. I don't like that. And if you don't pick a side, then you're always siding with the person that has done the harm. Period. And Jackie has been doing that since the day they sat in that fucking church in them goddamn pews and she was trying to make people fucking make up. I don't like that shit. Bitch, wrong is wrong and right is right. And it wouldn't have taken anything at all for her to say on Watch What Happens Live what she said during the filming of the reunion. And if we want to talk about, I was trying to be a good friend holds their friends accountable. And I cannot rock with thinking that being a good friend to Heavenly means that I have to request so much from Simone and that I'm gonna fake cry. I'm gonna put on that little cry. I'm gonna put on that little voice for you to go fucking apologize. That's not being a good friend. A good friend is, girl, stop telling that lie. She did not put her hands on you, and you know what that can do to her reputation. You know that that is harmful. You know that that is damaging. Come on. Pull it together. Don't do that. But why would Jackie hold anybody accountable when she can't hold her man accountable? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She mad at Toya. She mad at Toya because Toya said that man has... Yeah, y'all gonna talk about it all, Lauren. That man has put his hands on multiple people's hips. She acted like Toya gave that information unsolicited. She was fucking asked and she responded. I think that he needs to just keep his hands to himself. And did she lie? We didn't all watch that scene during the first or second season, whenever that was, and think that that shit was weird. We didn't all have that reaction. Girl, it's in 4K. You're mad because she brought it up, not because it happened. And that's what's weird, mamas. You should be mad that it happened. You should be mad and think it's weird that your man is putting his hands on other women's bodies and pulling them into his lap. That is what should be giving you pause, not the fact that your friend fucking said it. Did you even apologize to your friend for your man being a fucking weirdo? Because the way that would have made me so fucking uncomfortable as a woman. Are you sorry to me? Or are you mad because I said your man is a fucking weirdo? So why would Jackie hold Heavenly accountable when she don't do that with her own man? Jackie only likes to do accountability outward and when it's in relation to something that has explicitly happened to her. She want to play, you know, the fucking middle person for everything the fuck else. I don't like that. And I feel like Simone deserves better because Simone, whatever people think about Simone, she rides for who she rides for, period, full motherfucking stop. And she will tell them when they are fucking wrong. They don't like it because of how Simone presents it. But Simone stands on what she said. And she is, seventh letter. And she is. And so I can appreciate Simone saying, if you can't say what right is right and wrong is wrong, I'm not fucking with it. Simone does be wrong. Simone absolutely be wrong. But we're not talking about whether Jackie is like, we're talking about whether or not they know how to stand on right versus right and wrong versus wrong and ride for their people. Yeah. Jackie doesn't seem to have that skill set. And she thinks that being a good friend means allowing bad behavior. Why can't you love her enough to just be honest with her? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Hi, Noelle.
Hi.
Not y'all saying Heavenly got something on her, child. Y'all about to start a whole goddamn new storyline, child. Now she's scared of Heavenly. Listen, Heavenly, I feel like Heavenly's not the type of person that she could have something on somebody and not tell it, because she be too much.
I couldn't believe Toya told her to just talk more. I was like, more than she already does? Good Lord.
It was a slip of the tongue. Toya didn't mean that. Here's the thing. So Dark Skin Lover Girl asked this question, then I'm going to give it up to the panel. Okay, but do you feel like Simone is extra aggressive this season? I think that she is on edge, to Anne's point. I think that she is on edge because of her family situation. Right? I think that she has a lot of stress. She told us that all season. I am stressed. I do not want to work myself to redaction. I am exhausted. I am tired. I do not want to keep going at this rate. And so, yeah, there is going to be a level of just neurologically, physically, your body is going to get to a place where it just cannot. There are certain things that go out the window. I'm one of those people. When I'm feeling overloaded about certain things, I don't have the same level of grace that I have when I'm not. Right? When I'm in my best space, I'm able to be a little bit more nuanced and gracious and thoughtful. And when I'm not, I might cuss you the fuck out. And so I think that Simone is just, she's been telling us all season, she's at that place, right? So I think she don't have the same level of like, I might pull back or let that go. And that's exactly what I was about to say, Lauren. And we're also not going to pretend like Simone ain't always been a one that'll fucking respond. Simone will go there if she needs to go there. And so I don't think she's any more aggressive. And I'm using that word because you used it, right? I don't think she's any more aggressive. I think she's exhausted and she has less tolerance for shit than maybe she might have before.
I mean, we'll never forget her circling Toya in a driveway, trying to get her to talk. That was Simone. And I mean, she was circling her. It felt almost like we were watching something where someone would be narrating in the background about a predator and prey. She was in her feelings, and that is Simone. And on a side note, can I say, while I know that Jackie is wrong, because Jackie and Heavenly are one and the same. I just feel like Jackie is a sniper from the side. She uses Heavenly as a mouthpiece, just like she has been before it was Simone. But what turned that is the moment that Simone took up for Buffy is the moment that Jackie became Simone's low-key op and has been for years ever since. And I feel that deeply.
Well, listen, y'all, the girls are fighting, okay? And I'm just saying I won't be sad if Simone and Jackie choose to end it. The thing is, y'all, I'm actually not one of those people that feels like something has to last forever in order for it to have been good. I think that people should use more wisdom and knowing when it's time to get out of something, right? That also is a determinant of success. Are you able to reassess the situation and to make decisions based on the new information that you have? And so I think it is okay for them to acknowledge it was beautiful while it was beautiful, beautiful. And where we are today, I cannot move forward. Simone saying, if you cannot say what right is right and wrong is wrong, I don't want to do it. I think that that is actually okay. And I think that that is actually wisdom and that is maturity. Thank you, dark skin lover girl. Okay, I'm gonna start.
I also feel like, on a side note too, Simone was Mariah's friend, y'all. Remember that. Simone did not say a word after that fight with Toya. In fact, she then went on press and also said, oh, and it was bad, y'all. We all saw season 1. But I do feel like, and I don't think this is like to shit on either one of them, but I feel like that same energy, you were looking at Mariah crazy when she was asking you to stand as her friend. You were like, I'm a doctor, not too much. I'm above that, even though you can circle people in driveways, right? So I'm just throwing that out there that I don't want to say karma, but I say when people reveal themselves, truly believe it. And the same goes for Simone and Jackie and Truly Heavenly. My God, that name is such a oxymoron in so many ways. Bless her. But I don't even know if it's great TV anymore because I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, Mika, we have not touched that yet. I hear what you're saying. I also don't think it's a crazy question for friends to ask amongst one another, right? Like, if I'm really your friend and I think you making a dumbass decision, because I think that that's what they thought, like, that's what they wanted to understand, because, like, girl, this don't make no sense to them, right? They thought it was dumb. I don't think that's actually that crazy of a question to ask between friends. Like, well, girl, why are y'all having a baby if y'all not even sure what the status of your relationship is? And I think Quad's answer was a perfect answer. I was looking at someone that I wanted to co-parent with. And honestly, more people should approach their pregnancies that way. Who do you want to be the parent of your child? More than I love this person so much as a romantic partner, because being a good romantic partner does not mean they'll be a good father and vice versa, or a good parent and vice versa, right? So I think that Quad's answer was perfect, but I actually don't think it was that crazy of a question for friends to ask amongst friends, honestly. Okay, let me go. Noelle, Lauren, Bad. Noelle, please give me your thoughts, my love.
So I came up to comment on the Hood and Taylor situation. So I'm going to skip this topic because I don't know nothing about these medicine wives.
We will come back to them girlies in just a moment, okay? Just give me just a minute, okay? All right. Okay, Lauren, please go ahead and give me your thoughts.
Well, one, I thought the ladies looked really great. We're going to start with the plus. The melanin was popping. I feel like, God, am I a Toya apologist? Maybe. But I really love her. And I just feel like, you know what, y'all? Had a moment. And if you could just back the hell off, because she honestly got first chair for a reason. I don't know what you other girls are doing. What are y'all throwing? What events? What are we doing here? In regards to her and Mimi, I did like the back and forth. I did. I found it like, oh, okay. Entertaining. However, I just feel like, yikes. I don't know how close they really were. They didn't seem that close for it to be. I mean, I get it. I feel like Mimi was doing a little too much because of her belief system. And she wasn't saying that it was like her belief system that like where a woman should be or what she believed a woman's place would be. To each their own. I'm not yucking yums over here. However, I think there's a time and a place and there's a moment, and I thought that it was like she maybe just did a lot, just a little too much advice, and I feel like she was maybe giving an observation and or opinion but it did also come off as like, well, it is married to medicine. She's medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like it gave that. And then what was the last thing I was going to say? I think I had already said it with Simone and Jackie. To segue, when we get into the crash outs, right? We saw crash outs in different forms this season. We saw it with Toya. We've seen it numerous times with Heavenly, with Contessa, and with Simone. And I think, like, what does that say, right? Because would we be saying like, ooh, Simone, you're like almost like Simone is on, I don't want to say she's like a Taylor, because that is like a tragic, like a train wreck of some sorts of a kind. But I think that, like, when is it justified, I guess? I guess crash outs happen is I guess what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a human reaction, but like it's a difference between Toya having a moment. I mean, she wasn't throwing chairs, and so we can maybe. I think that's all. Simone, Simone crashed out like numerous seasons, because I won't forget about her quad moment last season in the dressing room. So I do feel like she could be really upset because she's tired. She's tired of her husband like not having a job and all of those things. Like, damn, Cecil. But also, I think that she is reactive, and it shows. And then I feel like sometimes this is almost, I don't want to say a consequence, but like after seeing it season after season, like, I mean, Jackie could have stood by her, but like Jackie wasn't, because she's low key her op. But like, would it be super surprising if maybe, you know what I'm saying? If maybe she, okay, that's all. Thank you.
I will say this. I think that here's my hot take, and it's probably not that hot, because if you've been watching this show, then you know Simone has been exhausted since the moment she wanted to get divorced from Cecil. Simone has been exhausted since the moment she wanted to get divorced from Cecil, and it has only gotten worse every single year. So yeah, we have watched her trip.
You're still in my talking points. Talking points.
Let me shut up. Okay, go ahead, man. Go, girl.
No, do what you want. It's your life. But I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say, I have been so ready for Simone and Jackie to be done with this friendship, just like I've been so done with her. I've been wanting her to be done with her marriage to Cecil. Like, that whole reunion where they were trying to convince them to stay together pissed me off, because he wasn't even ready to listen to her until everybody else said something about it. Why was your wife's complaint not enough for you to finally take accountability? It pissed me off so bad. And I was young when that happened, and I still was like, this is not right. I didn't know exactly why I felt that way, but now I'm like, no, she should not have stayed with that man. The happiest she's been on this show was when they had separate houses, and she was staying in that other house most of the time. But I don't know. Simone, I don't know if she'll ever make it to that point. But, with Toya and Mimi, I liked Mimi the beginning of the season, and I think I like her as a person, but I do think that she projects too hard her beliefs onto her friends. She needs to leave people's relationships alone. Everybody does not want to be married like you're married, and that's okay. And I agree with someone commented saying Toya's the only one that's not male-centered. I completely agree, because I'm watching the show all the time like, oh, I would be Toya. And people would hate me because I would be mean. Because sometimes that's just how it has to be. And Eugene loves it over there, so I don't know why they always want to make it seem like he's, like, try to demasculize him. I don't think that's a word, but you know what I mean. Like, make it seem like he's not in his masculine because she speaks to him whatever way. That's how they communicate, and I think that's fine. They need to not worry about what other people think. So Mimi needs to stop therapizing her friends and just, I don't know, just mind your business. She was not ready to take accountability for how she was acting. That's all that was. And I was hoping maybe she was going to watch the season and realize, but no, clearly not. Oh, and Contessa was gaslighting. I was like, girl, you complain about Scott 24/7. Stop trying to act like you were not mad at that man for not planning your birthday parties. Stop.
Listen, they are always, yes. Okay, so Contessa straddles the fence on being male-centered, dark-skinned lover girl. I'm going to say that, right? Like, you can't be male-centered and be like, I'm going to get this degree, however you feel about it, work it out, right? Like, she cared enough about what she wanted for herself to not get caught up in that. And it is, I don't know if you all noticed, but like this season, we see less of their marriage than we have in past seasons. And I don't think that that is by happenstance. And I think that you have to like watch it and really pay attention to like, well, why are we getting less, right? And that could be for lots of reasons. I also do think that it is very weird. Just a little bit, Kate Boogie. I think it's very weird that Steve is trying to emasculate Eugene. And I think that that is it's so lazy. It's such a lazy insult to tell someone, oh, well, you're not a man. And let's just also clock how fucking misogynistic that is, right? That you think that the appropriate insult, that it's an insult at all to be feminine. Why? Because you see the feminine as less than. That shit is toxic. It's misogynist. It's actually gross. And so any woman that can be married to a man that engages in that way, while he's talking about Eugene wanting to be a woman, do you want to be one of the women? Baby, you were the one that brought the shit up. You were the one in the girlie's business. What are you talking? And now you're mad because Eugene's responding. That shit is weird. And any woman that can be married to a man that engages that way and feels like femininity is an insult, that is like, oh, the worst thing you could be is you want to be one of the women. You're a certain type of woman. I'm sorry, y'all. You're a certain type of woman to be able to be in a marriage with a man like that. Whatever you think about it, and I'm not even saying, maybe I am judging it. Maybe I am saying I don't fuck with that. I don't rock with that because I don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? If it works for you, whatever. I don't know how you could be married to a misogynistic man and be happy truly. But I feel like a lot of people have smoke for Toya for things unnecessarily. Whatever you think about Toya and Eugene's marriage, you're not being fucked or sucked by either one of them, and ain't neither one of them paying y'all's fucking bills. So why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care what they got going on over there at their house? You have judgment about it because you can't stand the fact that she talks to her man like how she might talk to any other person, including y'all bitches, and he still does all the things he does for her. Y'all can't stand that she doesn't have to acquiesce and subjugate herself and lay down, you know, with her belly exposed for him to be kind to her. Y'all can't stand that shit because you do. You have to perform. You have to perform your femininity, so why shouldn't she? And that makes them upset is really what it's all about. Because honestly, I don't give a fuck what you're doing in your marriage. It has nothing to do with mine. It has nothing to do with mine. Exactly. Seventh letter, Ginger would call them ooga boogas. They love them fucking ooga boogas. And they use that, the reason why they like ooga boogas, okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox and let Ann talk in a second. The reason why they like ooga boogas and the reason why they like subscribing to this caveman mentality of men is because it makes sense for them as to why their husbands are not great. Well, he can't help it because he's just a man. Nah, bitch, he's just not nice. Say something nice. Like, he's just not nice. There are plenty of men that are evolved and are good humans to their partners. You are using that as an excuse to excuse away why shit is hard for you, right? Like the whole, even Dr. Mimi, the little glimpses that we got, I don't know if y'all clocked this, okay, and then I'm gonna shut up, okay? I don't know if y'all clocked this, but the little glimpses that we got of their marriage, again, beautiful parents doing their very best with their baby. Beautiful. Doing a beautiful job with their daughter and trying to hold space for her, because it is hard to be a sibling to a child with a chronic condition, right? Whether that's mental health or illness or whatever it is, right? Medical, it doesn't matter. It is hard to be the sibling to that child because the other child is inevitably going to get more attention. It's not able to be helped, right? Doing a beautiful job with that. But did y'all hear when Sage, stop. Sorry. Thank you. Did y'all hear when she was cooking dinner and she's going, oh, I'm doing the stereotypical wife stuff, and he's talking about how she like needs to do that more, and that is a clue to you to the types of conversations they have off camera about how she's supposed to show up as a wife. Whole time she's a fucking doctor and probably the breadwinner. So, you can think they're cute if you want to, but and they are. They're cute for lots of reasons, and there are other things to pay attention to as well. Okay, Ann, please give us your thoughts. I'll be right back, y'all.
Damn, not Tina leaving before I have my thoughts. First, this message is for bad. Oh, okay. This message is for bad and bad only. Bad, you got me, girl. I was like, let me go check out Southern Hospitality because Bad asked me to watch. Not that you asked, but I'm like, I take suggestions since I give suggestions. And I have this man on this app I follow, his name Taylor. He's a gay and I love his reviews. And I see he was watching Southern Hospitality. I said, let me tune in, child. And here I am watching the 4th season of Southern Hospitality, and I'm actually loving it. Listen, I don't fuck with Vanderpump Rule. Haven't watched in years. I don't like Sir. But I'm like, all right. Let's give our 10s across the board for Bad. Now, let's move on to Married to Medicine. Listen, the reunion was spicy, y'all. Right, T? Taylor's the best. I just want to say the women looked absolutely beautiful. I love that they chose red this year. I believe they did the same thing for Potomac. Right, Charlene? I'm so enjoying Southern Hospitality. Might actually rewatch it from the beginning. I heard Southern Charm is ghetto. Y'all let me know in the comments. You said that wasn't you. You watched Summer House, Bad? Oh, okay. Sorry, Bad. I also started watching Summer House this season. Bad, season 10. It's actually really good. All right. So whoever suggested it, thank you. Yeah, listen, at first I was like Team Mimi and Steve. I fuck with them all the way up. But after the whole information that Tina gave me, I realized I'm biased because I have an autistic son and they have an autistic son. And I like that aspect of their relationship. I think, is Mimi a great medical professional? Yes. I haven't heard anything bad about her career-wise. Is she a great wife? That's up to Steve. But seeing how Steve is misogynistic, remember, Steve is a former pro athlete. So his wife is likely the breadwinner, as Tina is, excuse me, as Tina is saying. Y'all bear with me. Sorry about my voice. I'm finally getting it back. I'm feeling better. Why my son caught the flu last week. Then I got sick. I didn't have the flu, but I got something real, maybe like a diluted version because I was hot and I was cold. I was hot, I was cold. I was out here fighting for my life the last week, but I'm better now. Anyways, y'all, I was like Team Steve Mimi, but after Tina broke it down, Steve and Mimi, I'm disappointed in y'all. I will never take away that you guys are great parents and we both have autistic sons, so I'ma always see y'all on that. I see you. And, she's a great medical professional. I'm always see y'all. Also, him being a former pro athlete, hopefully he has his savings because I know his wife out here making them dollar bills, y'all. But listen, and somebody said it in the comments, shout out to Lady Russell. She was saying that it's similar to the Secret Life of Mormon Wives, right? The women are the breadwinners and it's having the men feeling a little bit emasculated, a little bit, you know what I mean? And then we want to add a little religion to it, a little religion, the misogyny, the patriarchy, all of that plays into it. Am I right? So here's the thing. Yeah, you know what, Steve? I'm disappointed in you. Anybody else think that Steve went a little hard at my boy? First of all, I will always be 10 toes down for Dr. Eugene. All right, not Dr. Eugene. Is it Eugene? I'm fucking up the names. Oh, Lord.
It is. It's Dr. Eugene. Yeah.
Okay. I always stand 10 toes down. Listen, Nikki, I get that you like Mimi and Steve. I'ma always like them. We're always gonna be autistic parents, besties in my mind. But I can't do the misogyny. But the thing is, I'm always gonna like Dr. Eugene. All right, he a doctor and he could cook. That's my nigga right there. And I like to cook, and I don't cook because I'm a woman. I cook because I like it. You're not gonna tell me nothing. I've also been a breadwinner in a relationship before. And in the words of Cardi B, broke niggas don't deserve no PUSSY. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Listen, I'm excited for part 2 of the reunion. I'm here for the red. Red is my favorite color. We in there swinging. Listen, Dr. Contessa, girl, you know you my favorite Contessa. I like you. I think you smart. I think you got 10,000 degrees. And if you get more, I'll like you even more. Girl, Contessa, I don't care. Just stop gaslighting people. Every year it's the same thing. I don't complain about Scott. Listen, let me tell you something, Contessa. Dr. Heavenly clocked you. Contessa always complain about her husband, and then when she gets sober, she wants us to forget about it. Clock it, Heavenly, clock it. Because what's going on? You always complaining about Scott, and then when we bring it up, you want to be like, oh, nah, I'm not complaining about my husband. Just be honest. Tell Brandy, you right. I was hating on you. I turned 50. My husband ain't never threw me a party. I'm sorry, girl. I didn't mean to bring the mood down. Now, like Tina said, whether or not you thought it was weird that you called to thank the husband, fine. But in that moment, Contessa, you really gave green-eyed monster, really gave jealousy, and that's not cool, boo-boo. Last thing I'ma say, I do want Jackie and Dr. Simone to break up. Here's why. Dr. Jackie, you lost me after you did what you did to Buffy. Then you lost me this season after you got an enlarged thyroid when you said that to Brandy. Mind you, Brandy is a nurse practitioner. Let's not play in anybody's face, all right? I don't like it. And Dr. Jackie, I've heard bad stuff about you on TikTok, and the patients don't like you. Apparently, you're not a champion for Black women the way you claim. Dr. Jackie, stop with the fake ass tears, girl. Bye. I need the friendship to end. Quite frankly, I don't like Dr. Jackie or Dr. Simone anymore. I used to look up at both of them, but I'm gonna say it. Fuck you, old ladies. I ain't gonna hold you. Listen, Dr. Heavenly is messy, but she a real one. Dr. Simone, I can't fuck with you because you said last season to my girl Quad, and I'm always gonna be Team Quad. You said we had was it last season or 2 seasons ago? Oh, we met Dr. G came back for revenge. Bitch, fuck you, Dr. Simone. How dare you have somebody's abuser come back on the show for revenge because you mad at her? Just leave that man, leave that sorry ass man. Stop coddling Michael and leave us the rest out of the group chat. And I'm finished.
Okay, I just have to say, since y'all brought up Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Lauren in the comments, yes, exactly. And this is why I did not like whatever Jen's had, Zach. I didn't like Zach. And when he came back last season, I was like, we'll see, but I'm not excited to see him. I'm not really fucking with him. And sure enough, this season, he's already talking about how he's so fatigued and he's worn out. Whitney's the husband is the only husband that we've gotten to see so far that is actually like, I got it. I know how to be the parent. Like, it's cool. Everything's taken care of. These other ones don't know what to do. And I'm sorry, not sorry. If you cannot be attached to your manhood without being the provider and being the person that is the dominant person in the hierarchy, and you don't know how to be a man, if y'all are on equal footing and y'all are peers, you're actually fucking weird and you're not a man to begin with. I don't care. I said what I said. Now, this is not to say that your man cannot be the head of your household, that he can't be the leader in your home. That's not to say that. What I'm saying is, if he somehow feels like he's not a man, if those things are not true, then he was never a man to begin with. Not y'all were trying to restrict the live. Y'all mad because I called out y'all's raggedy husbands? I don't care. I don't care. And I never care about showing up on the FYP. So I promise y'all, it doesn't matter how many times y'all freaking report me, because I don't care about showing up on the FYP. That said, again, a man is a man is a man is a man, the same way a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman, regardless of how they are, whatever that behavior, like that title or that position is, like that should not define you. I'm sorry. It's giving raggedy. I don't fuck with it.
Tina, real quick, I don't know if any of y'all saw this, but there's an update that Jordan filed a temporary restraining order against Jesse today. I said, for what? For what? Jordan, you know what, Jordan? Don't let me catch you outside, Jordan. You know I don't like you. Don't let me catch you outside.
Jordan is he wants to be Dakota real bad, which is why he was always running Dakota's business, trying to align with his wife. But also, clearly, you still are showing up in a way with Dakota where he feels like he can tell it to you. And it's the same way. I'm sorry. Am I sorry about it? No, I'm not sorry. It's the same way, like, if a person comes to me and they tell me something that somebody, like, and I'm talking about in real life, not on social media, right? If my friend comes to me talking to me about something somebody said about me, my question is always, why did they feel like they could say it to you? How are you showing up in that space where they felt like they could say it to you? So how is Jordan showing up with Dakota where Dakota feels like he can say some of the things he says to Jordan, especially when they was talking about how Jordan's constantly running his mouth and telling everything to Jesse. Okay, so what is he saying that then makes them feel like it's comfortable for them to repeat it again all of a sudden? I'm just saying. And the way he was all up Dakota's ass this season, I'm sorry, y'all. He's trying to take a page out of Dakota's playbook. And he gives to me kind of what Taylor says about Dakota, right? Taylor says that Dakota is he pushes me, and then when I respond, that's what you all get to see, right? Jordan gives me the same vibe.
Tina, a lot of people have been saying online that low key that Jordan wants Dakota. Listen, I'm not doing none of that, I'm not doing none of that homo stuff with y'all, all right? I'm done accusing men of wanting other men. But what I will say, those two have possibly been in some friendly cahoots. And this is why Jordan out here acting out. I know Jordan was a ish, but he now ain't. Mind you, guys, I went back and watched the pilot season this weekend because the way my mind be turning, and I got so much evidence. Why, when the police came, it was because the neighbor had called. What's her name? Taylor is standing there. She said, I peed myself. I'm so scared for my life. He threw me against something wooden. He locked her inside of the garage. She was drunk that night. She came out and she started wilding. She was cussing him, punching him, and then she threw the bar stools. When three of the bar stools, right, one of them ended up hitting her daughter. As Dakota was advancing towards the daughter, and then one of the bar stools hit her in the head. According to the reports, she got a goose getting in her head. Taylor just made a comment on social media today saying that this resurfacing is re-traumatizing her daughter, and the fact that when he released the article to TMZ, when allegedly Dakota or someone from Dakota's camp, that's what they're saying, this happened Thursday the 19th, that was also Ever's birthday. That's how I know he's not diagnosed, but this is exactly what a narcissist does. They take a special day for you and ruin the memory. The fact that the video was intentionally put out on their son's birthday, right? And then the fact that the video took away her bachelorette experience, and now the fact that he has temporary custody of their son until April 7th, until they go back into court. Dakota, you know the type of devil you are. You know what you're doing. And Jordan, I'm on your ass too.
Okay, I will say, I think that either way, I've never gotten the vibe that, what's his name, Jordan wants Dakota. I don't know. I don't really care to be trying to clock their sexuality like that. What I will say, I what I will say is that either way, I don't think that Jordan is an upstanding guy. I don't think that the majority of the men on that show are. And I'm just going to tell y'all now, y'all are hearing it first. It's only going to be so long before we hear something about Macy's husband, right? Because the reality is all of these men have conditioning that they have to undo. Right? Every single one of them, because they were born a man, have conditioning that they have to undo. And then they were men born into the LDS church. Hyper religious. Lots of ideology about what, and Macy's husband speaks to that a little bit this past season, right? About what the church says a man is supposed to be. And he doesn't disagree with it. He's just really trying to push against his conditioning in order to support his wife. So all of these men have things that they're having to undo if they're going to actually show up for their wives. And this is why a lot of these shows, and I've said this before, a lot of these shows, the wives don't end up divorced from their husbands because all of a sudden reality TV make their marriages bad. They end up divorced from their husbands because all of a sudden reality TV made the playing field leveled and the men don't know what to do when their wives don't have to depend on them for everything. When their wives become the person that has more power and more authority and she's not only subjugated to them, many of the men don't know what to do with that because they only understand themselves as husbands in relationship to their wives, with their wives underneath their thumbs. And when that becomes no longer the case, it reveals a lot of shit that was always there, but had no reason to come to the surface. I'm just saying. And in that vein, can we segue to the way that these women, these crash outs are one and the same? Because that's what I know Noelle wants to talk about. Taylor and Huda are the same girl.
Hold on. Lady Russell Hat, what is your real name? I know she wanted to say something.
It's Lauren.
Comments. Lauren, what you had to say?
Well, I believe that Taylor and Honda Civic are one and the same. What I did want to say was that what was being told about the garage, that's what we saw on season 1. But there are new charges. Okay, I'm not saying Dakota is not a piece of SHIT. I'm not saying that by any means because he is. And I think that it's probably a dual abusive situation. Okay. Right. Is that what the word is? Because y'all, Taylor puts her hands on people. How we know this? They've been talking about it since season 1. How they know this? Oh yeah, we can gather all together. Taylor's not here. Taylor's not drinking. I think, bless her. Nah, fuck her. She's MAGA. What happens. I don't know. It's above me now. But and it was never because we're not on the same team. But great TV. But I do feel like yes, the timing suspect, probably all of those things can be true at the same time. But like, I think we just like cannot just like despite him being a piece of shit, like Taylor, that was abuse. Similar to like, I don't know, Huda saying, you fucking bitch, blah, 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 blah. Screaming and being abusive verbally in the villa. It is inexcusable. And what we also saw, and what I also consider with Taylor, especially with the Jeremiah and Huda of it all, is perhaps it wasn't reactive. Perhaps it was, she just didn't hear, she heard something maybe she didn't like or she didn't want, or it wasn't quite there, and then add the alcohol to it. Hot mess. That's all. Sorry.
No, okay, I appreciate you. And then Noelle, I'm going to come to you. I appreciate you naming that, right? Because I want to be very clear always about my stance. Dakota being a piece of shit, Louis being a piece of shit. Not they just reported you, Lauren. We don't care. Fuck Honda Civic. Fuck your babe. Cry about it. Them being pieces of shit doesn't change the fact that they still had bad behavior. Like, 1 + 1 does not equal 7, y'all. It doesn't. it doesn't change the facts of the situation, right? And there has to be a willingness. I mean, they gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do, right? But there should be a level of willingness. I don't care. I don't care. To self-reflect, right? You need to be able to look at yourself. Look at yourself. If you can't look at yourself, then you're doomed to be that person forever. And while the fans think it's cute today, wait until their frontal lobes develop.
Still gonna pick you.
Gigi.
I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, boo. I'm gonna tell you something that my ESC contact once told me. IEP kids grow up to be IEP adults.
And that's true, but I don't think that the fans are IEP kids. If I'm honest, I think
No,
they're just bad humans.
I done had conversation with a few of them about. I think.
Let me just say this because what I don't want to do is like dabble into like ableism, right? Because being an IEP kid, being a special education kid does not mean that you think certain things are okay. They just have fans that are supporters of bad behavior because it's entertainment to them, because they have grown up in a generation of feasting off of people, right? They are literally vampires for this experience, right?
There's a creator calling that girl's apartment. It's insanity.
Yes. So I think it's
No, you know what? You're right.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that they just have piss poor fans, and right now they're insulated by those piss poor fans. I think those piss poor fans eventually are going to grow up, and the hope is that they learn that behavior is actually piss poor. And I think that there are tons of us that can look back and be like, ooh, why did I like that person? Ooh, why was I listening to that song? Ooh, that shit was crazy, right? And I think that that's going to happen for them. My hope is it happens for
Can
them.
I add something too?
Real quick.
Just a quick thing.
Go ahead.
I worked as an aide for special education kids for a while, and I just wanted to add, they absolutely know right from wrong, whether it's someone else doing it or they're doing it themselves. They will do it sometimes anyway, but they know when they're doing something wrong. So, yeah, I agree. It's not about them being IEP. It's just them not knowing any better.
Or just not giving a fuck, right? They're not at an age maybe where they give a fuck.
Absolutely, I can agree with that.
Hey, Noelle, please give me your thoughts, my love.
Okay. Obviously, like, I don't know exactly how, like, everybody's positioning is in this live, but I feel like I've watched with growing alarm the discourse over the past couple of weeks between these two cases that happened like within a day of each other, which is very interesting. But to see so many people not only identifying with Taylor and Huda, but I think as a result of their personal experiences, then vigorously defending their behavior, excusing it, and sometimes even praising it. Like, oh, I would have thrown 4 chairs at Dakota. I would have done X, to the point where I'm like, wait, what are we doing? But I do think Huda and Taylor are, from my observations, are very similar. I think they both kind of weaponize self-deprecation. And I think maybe from my perception, they struggle with separating, like, I did something bad from I am a bad person. And so I think for Huda, she struggles to acknowledge sometimes doing something bad or taking full accountability because she doesn't want to be seen as a bad person. And I feel like for Taylor, she like leans into like, oh yes, I'm so terrible, I'm such a piece of trash, I'm broken, blah blah blah, almost as if like if she says it herself, then people can attack her or can't use it against her. But that's not the same as accountability. It's like if you tell your mom like, oh, you hurt me when you did this, and she goes, oh, I'm the worst mom ever, you had such a terrible childhood, blah blah. So like you're over dramatizing and catastrophizing, and then accountability never actually gets taken. I also feel like for the people that kind of want to make Taylor's behavior about reactive abuse or having a reaction, I feel like they both have demonstrated they have multiple incidents or multiple chaotic relationships where they are the common denominator. I feel like Huda made it clear she doesn't have really any female friends. She's had emotional volatility with all of the romantic partners that we've seen her with, and even with her ex. With Taylor, like, we learn about her relationships with her mom and her stepdad, and all the chaos there. We learn about her father's abuse. We see how her friends have to walk on eggshells around her and have to kind of debate and meet about how they're going to give her news because they know she's going to fly off the handle. Like we see her relationship with Dakota. So I'm like, at a certain point, if you are the common denominator in all of this volatility and all of your relationships, it's not just about your romantic, connection with Dakota anymore. And I feel like their emotional volatility has been like rewarded by the women who sees themselves in them, who feel like they've been wronged in any capacity, then whatever response they give is justified, even if it's physical, even if it's violent. Like we saw Huda telling Jeremiah, like, this is your fault. It's your fault I'm like this. It's your fault I'm reacting this way, like explicitly. We see people defending Taylor and kind of hyping her up, where I feel like she may have been in a place to take more accountability. But I think with the response from people, I feel like she's almost kind of reverting from the accountability I saw her taking in the early interviews, where she acknowledged that she was the aggressive one, that Dakota was just trying to calm her down, that she was the one who kind of upped the ante and raised the stakes. I almost see her like backing off of that, I think, because of all of the people that are saying her behavior is justified. I also feel like they're two young mothers who have been unable to temper their reactions when upset, even when like children's well-being is at stake, which to me is not an indication of reactive abuse or just a reaction, but in your inability to control your old behavior. So watching both of their people to come to both of their defense in such a aggressive and emotional way has been really disturbing for me, actually.
Thank you, Noelle, for saying that. I want to say a couple of things. Number one, Anne, I disconnected you because your mic wouldn't turn off. You can request up again. But it wouldn't mute you, so I could just hear all of your background. So I dropped you. Two things. I think that more than one thing can be true, Noelle. Like, right? Like, I agree with you that I think she has both of them have a really hard time with emotional regulation. Like, it's almost non-existent once they are at a certain place. Like, they get into that downstairs brain and they just hang out there until they feel like they can finally go upstairs again. And even then, they don't always see something wrong with their behavior. For example, on the episode that I just watched of Salt Lake City, whatever the fuck they are, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, okay? I'm like, all these goddamn shows. When they was doing the photo shoot for the newest season, and Taylor was like, well, I still stand by what I said, but I'm sorry for how I said it. I actually think that she was wrong in that situation, right? Asking Miranda to make a choice between the two of you is not fair to Miranda. Asking Miranda to tell you anyway, despite how I'm going to react, is again not fair to Miranda or to anyone else. And I think that Taylor expects a level of loyalty to her that is, I'm going to say that there have been moments where I don't feel like she always gives that back to the other girls in return. And it's only been a couple of moments, but there have been moments I'm like, I didn't actually like that response. But I'm not a Taylor fan, and I've never really been a Taylor fan, to be perfectly honest. I used to like Demi, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. But so I will say that I think that they lack emotional regulation, and I do think that there is a possibility that I could easily believe, based on what not just we're seeing on the show, but what the people that are around him, the women explicitly, have to say about him, I struggle to believe that he's completely sort of like hands clean in all of this. And I can easily believe that there are things that he does, right, that are not, I'm not yelling and screaming at you or cussing you out, but I'm fucking your friend, right? I'm fucking the girl that's in the group that I know you was just comforting, right? I'm doing shit like that to embarrass you, to get under your skin, to dig at you. I'm going to your house before you're supposed to get on the plane and then being there for 10 hours, which means they probably had sex, right? He's doing shit like that. And then when she has this big old reaction, it's like, oh my gosh, she's having this big old reaction. He didn't do anything. And it's like, well, he did something. It just didn't look the same way as what she did. The show is on Hulu, bad. Okay, Gigi. Okay, Nikki, please give me your thoughts because Gigi's going to come right back.
Okay, before I get started, we started the time. I had a question.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Why are we surprised? Like, was it a secret about this video that came out about That's what I'm saying. It happened. We saw it on the show, right?
The video just came out.
We saw we knew what we saw the police report. That was brought up.
Well, we saw the police report and we saw the interaction with the cops afterwards.
Right. Mm-hmm. Then ABC knew.
Yeah, correct.
And did they not think that somebody would that it was not going to get leaked? Like, I'm confused.
I guess they figured she's been on for how many seasons? So if it hasn't yet, then why would it? Probably. But she did something new, like Lauren.
Because her new charges that happened.
It's because they're new charges, and I think
what are the
for
new
me,
charges?
I didn't watch all the extraness. I just saw what they said on the show about what happened, and it was very downplayed on the show. It wasn't until more recently that I actually saw the full report. I didn't know her child had been injured, for example. I didn't know that she actually pled guilty to anything because they don't mention that on the show. So I just thought oh, she didn't go to jail. They must have dropped the charges. So I think people are now kind of discovering how bad it was that maybe didn't know early on.
I just think it's very confusing to me as somebody that's producing a show, knowing the full scope of what reality TV is. Would ever put somebody in there with those type of charges and it not come out. People do digging. We you have to know that this I don't get it.
But I don't think that it's that they didn't know. I think they knew. I think they didn't fucking care because if that was if they thought if it was going to be a problem, why wouldn't it have been a problem on Secret Lives, right? Not only has it not been a problem, but she has continued to remain the center and the star of that show. The girls just said in the most recent season, I'm going to stop your time so you get full time. The girls just said in the most recent season how it's hard. We're not all the fave. We had to be here at 8 a.m. She is still catered to as the star of that show, despite this information. So why would ABC think it's going to impact them?
So did the other ladies know how serious it was and kept their mouth shut?
I don't think so. I think that this was something that Taylor and Dakota knew, and they heard versions of the story.
Got it. Okay.
And several of the girls have also said new stuff has happened. So I think the
I don't know
reaction.
About any new charges. The only thing that I saw was that the chair, Dakota had brought up to some guy that he had that she was throwing furniture, chairs at me, but I didn't know about the daughter. That's all.
And here's the thing: she is the reason for the show, Dark Skin Lover Girl. It doesn't mean that I think that they are at a point in the show where if they wanted to continue on without Taylor, they truly could. Because is anybody else still super invested in her and Dakota and watching their relationship dynamic? I'm excited.
No.
Over
I think it was a money move. I think that they were she has 6 million followers. She has this show. It's so famous now. It's blowing up. I'm talking about the execs because I don't even watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I never have. I've never watched one episode. But I mean, I know for a fact they've never really had someone on probation with 2 baby daddies, quality wise. I'm just saying. And they knew they had to have. They already knew about these charges and the plea deal because this video that we're seeing is from 2023. This most recent incident happened in February, I guess.
So
I think the video is something is coming out because they're trying to soften it, and you wouldn't cut. They don't care about people. It's capitalism, right? Corporations are monsters. They just ate $100 million to cut this season because whatever happened in February must have been, or the results are bad, I think. And I mean, not to go on a rant, but I mean, come on, inherently violent. I'm going to say that is MAGA. So I'm just throwing that out there. And they also wanted that brand on TV for ABC.
Absolutely, they do.
And that's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Nikki. I want you to get your time, but Mika, I want to respond to your question. Yes, she was an executive producer on the show, but that is pretty common. It probably was negotiated as like a part of her contract for her being on the show. I think the majority of them are EPs on Secret Lives as well. A bunch of the baddies are EPs on baddies. Like it's just about getting credit in an additional check. What's up, Ian?
Yeah, actually, Taylor did say this. She did a Good Morning America, which is an ABC affiliate. And she said, so since you guys know I do all of this, all the ladies have been named executive producers this season, except for Demi because she's just a friend of. And she even said on the interview, it's in credit and name only because they're producing their lives. So they're getting that extra credit and that extra check for being on the show this long. That's all it is.
Well, she said that, but she was claiming not to know what it was. Like she was claiming not to know that she was an executive producer, and then didn't really understand what executive producer was. And then she was guessing, well, I guess maybe it's because we produce our own lives. So I don't know that she really understood what was going on.
I mean, I think either way, it's not uncommon.
Isla made a video about it, and it's just in credit, and it's just about credit and about the extra check. Yeah. That's all.
I think it's just an extra check. It's in name. It's not an actual deed. And yeah, I think that, right, like this is about the additional charges that came in February or whatever, whenever the fuck they came out, right? And so it's not about whether they knew or not, y'all. It's about whether or not they thought they would have any consequence for it. There has not been a consequence yet. In fact, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has been extremely popular. So why would ABC think that they would have a consequence? That's literally all it boils down to. It was a money grab as usual. Duh, this is their job, right? So yeah. Okay, Nikki, please give us your thoughts.
Sure. So when you all were talking about the common denominators, it was very, very easy to connect those dots. Easy. But here's the dots that are not connecting, and I think which provides a larger society problem, is that the common denominator with these women are the people that put them on television. Peacock did it, kept that girl there, knowing full well if anybody else, especially if there's a black person, would be booted off would be removed as a safety concern. This other show, y'all, we saw that there was an altercation. We saw how unstable that girl was just by the preview. I knew some shit went down that was way more than what we saw. I can automatically assume that. So what they did, these networks, they took Halitosis, 6-point-something million followers, and saw how many people supported her, kept her on the show, and they saw Taylor's following, put them on the show. Our real enemy is the media. That's the real enemy. And until we come together and notice that, because we watch these shows, right? We get frustrated. We could talk about their characters all day long. But, I put in the chat, for these, whoever is a Drag Race fan, drag does not change who you are. It reveals who you are. And that's how I feel about reality TV. Mm-hmm. It's exactly the same. And then, so, for this to take, y'all, we're in a situation where the media in especially entertainment is trying to dumb us down to a degree where we look for mess. We see it in the fandoms. Like nobody can tell you anything different other than what you want to hear about your faves. I mean, at some point, we have to be critical and understand the larger harm that it's causing the generations that are coming up behind this. Like, I don't come from that world. Thank God I don't. I'm so grateful that I did not grow up with social media. It was hard as it was just existing. But the fact that, there's so many people, their whole lives are just spent on what other people view you and what they think on social media, that, I think there's just a warped sense of reality all the way around in how we view. And now those relationships, not only are you watching it and talking online, I don't see a difference now when I talk to younger people in the way they view things on television and how they view their relationships in real life. It's now filtering over to real life, because now you paranoid about your girl wanting to sleep with your man because your fave did. It's just gotten so ridiculous. It just really has. So I will stay off of that. I just think that, for people in this room who are, quite intelligent, maybe we should start having, shifting conversation or adding that into our conversation. I'm not shifting anything. And then the last minute, I will I will give to you, Tina, because apparently I missed a whole bunch of stuff. But I just watched the reunion, and I didn't know you was on. So I literally just watched it. I know that this might rescind some of the gifts that I've been given. So I apologize in advance. If you want me to give you a refund, just let me know. I have never been a big fan of Toya. I know a lot of people do. Stay on your mics, okay? I know. I've never been a big fan. But I don't see... I see both sides of the argument, to where I'm not seeing how Steve and Mimi are these bad persons versus Toya and Eugene. I can give you several things about Toya and Eugene's relationship that I don't care for at all and would never tolerate. And the same goes for them too. So I'm not sure what you all were missing, but that backstage thing with the men, I think was fair game. I think they were both upset. And was still standing their ground and really not, they each one of them wanted, them to fess up to, what the other one said, and they weren't. So, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Toya, apologize. So go ahead.
I will say this. Listen,
I must have missed something.
I don't consider myself a fan, honestly, of any of the women. There are bits and pieces that I like about a lot of the women, but I don't think I consider myself like a go hard for anybody in particular. I do think that I defend Toya a lot, and I think I defend Quad a lot. And I think that has to do with how I feel like people come for them sometimes unnecessarily. And I feel like people take digs at them because they don't align with what they view as right. And I'm going to be honest, this is my bias coming in, right? A lot of it is because I feel like the ladies' judgment for those women has a lot to do with them being male centered. And I don't like that. That pick me shit, that my husband is my king, the same way my son is my king. I just personally, I don't fuck with it. And so I have a visceral reaction when your judgment is based on that shit. For me personally, right? So for me, it's not that I think that Eugene and Toya were wrong about the tickets, only in that apparently the situation was that Jackie had bought a table and they were included in the tickets for her table. So you were wrong. Period. Full stop. If somebody buys the table and there are people sitting at my table, you don't get to press them about a ticket. That's not how it works, right? So they were wrong about that. Period. Full stop. But I can say that and still say that I think that what's their names? Mimi and Steve, I feel like they're on the bandwagon of low-key hating on Toya and Eugene, and I think it's because Mimi oversteps, and so does Steve, because at that pool event, whatever, at the little, whatever the party was, take a day off from work, whatever the hell, right? when that situation happened between Toya and Eugene, and it was Heavenly she's always the fucking peanut gallery. Everybody knows that about her, and it's annoying about her. Why is it any less annoying about Mimi? Why is it any less annoying about Mimi that she's also in the peanut gallery? And so was fucking Steve. While he's telling Eugene, you want to be one of the women, it was Steve's ass that said, ooh, your wife talks to you like that? Boy, shut the fuck up. Why are you in it?
Well, to be fair, I think where Mimi's distaste in Toya was at that pool party when she was cussing everybody out drunk. I mean,
okay, but here's the thing. Y'all are saying Toya asked her a question in the comments. I know that y'all know the difference between a real question and a rhetorical question. Nobody in this live does not know the difference between that.
I know, Tina, but like, I think because she's new and she didn't know, I would have probably been like, girl, like if somebody was going off and just really drunk, I would be like, you know, anybody here, if somebody was like, anybody here, you know, blah, 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 whatever question she asked, I would be like, girl, we need to step it down a notch. Because now, like, and I don't think, go ahead.
I just, listen, here's my thing about it, right? If you feel like she's embarrassing her husband by correcting him in public, what did you think you were doing by correcting her?
Well, she was yelling. She's not like
her fucking house. She could talk however she want to talk.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, like, I might have responded like a Mimi and not necessarily be like tap into your femininity. I personally didn't like that. You know, it was just like, okay, that's what they got going on. Fine. It's nothing new. All of them have that, with the exception of Quad, and I would say Toya, have that, you know, well, maybe Simone. I don't know. I think Simone's trapped into that. My son is king, or my man is the head of the household. It's just like, it's no different than a Heavenly. It's no different from a Jackie. It's no different how Simone talks about her husband. Like, they're all like that. Even Brandy, you know, like, what is that her name? The new girl? And Contessa, even though they have all these careers, they're like constantly talking about their men, my man, my man, my man. So, like, to me, that was no difference. Why is Mimi standing out versus everybody else standing out? And here's my issue is that, yes, I think why I loved Married to Medicine over all the franchises, because from the beginning, we saw a lot about their careers. We saw a lot about their day-to-day, their family life. We enjoyed seeing Simone and Jackie just sitting there chopping it up about their patients. It was really one of those things. And like, for the new people, now that Bravo is on the ratings and ratchetness of it all, I would have preferred to see the new people come in and let the OGs, you know, fight amongst themselves, and really if you're going to include them on the fight, include their journeys along the way. How do I know this person? How are they relative to me? Like Heavenly, it was really touching when Heavenly was just like, I didn't know who to call. That's why my son was arrested, because he had a mental disorder, and the only one I could think of calling was Mimi. That's powerful. You know what I mean? I think these women offer so much in ways that the other franchises don't. And I just feel like we're getting caught up in, you know, just regular discourse when it comes to these shows, and not giving a fair chance to the newbies, especially in this show. The newbies in the other franchises is messy, but in this show, these are professionals, these are doctors, these are people that we would like to see on television. So that's all I'm gonna say.
I disagree, because Mimi was a newbie last season, right? Mimi came in.
She was a friend of, right?
Yes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she came in as a friend of Toya last season.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure she came in as a friend of Toya last season, which is especially why it's weird that now And for me, it's what she said. It's not that Toya couldn't be corrected, because Quad went up to that closet and corrected her. Contessa said something to her. She was a friend of Sweet Tea.
Yes, that's who it was.
How was Sweet Tea bringing friends in? That girl was
I
barely
don't know.
Okay, sorry. Anywho, but my thing is Quad and Contessa both said something to Toya. They said something to Toya in a way that Toya could receive it when Toya was ready to receive it. Someone throwing a rhetorical question out and you saying lean into your femininity, I feel like you're telling me that I'm not a woman because of how I'm reacting. I am angry. And so I am reacting like a person that is angry, and you're telling me that I'm not being feminine enough. I don't fuck with that. And I think that that's weird, actually.
I agree with you on that, because I even called out that statement. The issue I'm having is that this is a pattern that I've seen with Toya, and it could be editing, right? Is that Toya will have a problem and talk to everybody else about it, but won't come one-on-one to talk about it. And then it's brought up in a group. And I know it's probably done for the show, but I'm saying, like, friendships are really suffering from that. We're seeing it with and trust and believe. I'm with Ann. I'm not the biggest Jackie fan. I think her and Simone's relationship needs to take a step back, because I disagree with her wholeheartly when she told her to stay with that man. And like, you will never convince me.
Same.
On this, however, I see both of them in very bad ways, because Simone is a grudge holder. You know, like, it's like, but she still lets her back in. She said this how many times? Like, Jackie, you disappointed me. We're never going to be friends. And then they go back and forth and back and forth. I've actually thought that, you know, this whole situation with her and Heavenly, as yes, it potentially can be very dangerous for an accusation about somebody being unhinged and pushing them. Heavenly was definitely exaggerating that moment, and I think
She straight out lied. She said the woman shoved her. That literally never happened.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It went from push to shove. Mm-hmm. And what I saw was Heavenly and Contessa, whoever it was, I don't know, remember, I think it was Contessa, you know, with the cameraman, Simone standing right there. She turns around. Heavenly puts her arm behind her back or on her shoulder to take a picture. And then Simone takes her arm, and I just watched it, so it's very clear for me, takes her arm, holds it, and then pushes it down and says, "Don't touch me." That can trigger somebody off, even if you don't like Heavenly.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like her. But what really was the issue is that she kept it on 100 to everybody. Everybody got lashings. That's my issue with Simone. And I expect more from a professional, honestly. I don't care who you are. Heavenly too. Hell. You know what I mean? Like, Heavenly's, like, we are very clear, not the greatest person at all. But she brings the conflict. Now, why they still engage with that, I have no idea. And let's hope, let's see that I hope she gets elected, removes herself, and I would like to see the dynamic of everybody outside of Heavenly.
I'm gonna push back a little bit. As someone, and I know that a bunch of y'all in here are professionals as well, I'm gonna push back a little bit. I don't think it's fair to say that someone holds a certain profession, and so because they are angry, because they hold a profession, they have to pull it together. That's not fair. And I especially as a clinician am not asking Black women to hold in their anger when I know that is a leading cause for autoimmune disorders. Baby, you better let that shit rip if you need to. Now, should she have maybe at some point been like, okay, I'm gonna go home, but asking her to hold it.
I never said that, though. I never asked her to hold it. What I said, she kept it on 100 even after Heavenly left.
What would better have been?
It would have been better, like, everybody was coming to console her and just be like, she's gone, she's gone. She wasn't hearing any of that. And so when I know, like, I have a friend like that, right? When I know this person is like this this is somebody else's function too. Like, this is somebody else's function too. So like, what I do is that, because I am the trusted friend, which would have been Jackie, I would have exhorted my friend outside and let her pop off. But I'm too understanding that I'm still at somebody's event where they like that has to exist too. And maybe that's just me. I'm very conscious about how my actions affect others, even though I'm insulted. So I maybe I expect a little bit more emotional intelligence, if you will, because what I know you steaming, Tina, and I'm not saying that she had no cause to go off. For how long it was going off is where I had the problem. Is that I'm like, nobody is calming her down. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. She's screaming, and I'm like, can y'all, like, if that was my friend and this was happening in an event, I would be mortified the next day that I had been like that.
I mean, I wouldn't probably engage in that way, honestly. And I have two thoughts. Number one, I think that Simone is on overload, right? I think that we've been watching her all season.
Very true.
All of us, that she's on overload. And so I just I do get protective around asking people when they are on overload to continue to manage. They are already at a place where things don't feel manageable. So something that feels small to someone else actually might be the thing that sets a person off. I think about people that are autistic, right? And to you, that sock being itchy is not that big of a deal. But for them, if they're already overstimulated, baby, that might be the meltdown moment. And I might melt down for 30 fucking minutes about it. Because why was that sock so fucking itchy and the light so goddamn bright? That might happen. And so I am protective around asking people when they're on overload to be like, yeah, but you should be able to calm down. And I don't know any situation ever in my life where telling someone to calm down has actually calmed them down. What Simone needed was to feel validated in her emotions. What she needed was to feel like, yeah, girl, I hear you. She was tripping. I don't know why she did that. I'm glad she needed that. But when people try to go to problem solving, this is not my opinion. This is science. If you try to move to a problem solving state with someone, which is the upstairs brain, while they're downstairs and you haven't done anything to connect the staircase, baby, they don't hear shit that you're saying. You have to walk downstairs with them first through validation to get them to walk back upstairs with you. And Simone needed that this season more than I think she's ever probably needed it. And sure, her friend could have stepped her outside, but Simone has said this to us, right? She felt like her perception was, you all are correcting me rather than correcting the both of us. And that was where her problem was.
I think I'm so glad that you said that, because that's exactly what I do for my friend. When he's in that state, I remove him, from said situation, and I just let him get his shit out. Just get it out. And I understand, like, I'm just like, that's messed up. I'm on your side until he calms himself down. And I'm very similar when I get set off. It takes me a lot to get there nowadays, now that I'm older. But back then, yeah, I would definitely need a space for me to scream, cuss. And like, my friends have done this for me all my life, is being like, I just need to get it out. And one of the key phrases me and my best friend use is that she's like, do you want me to listen, or do you want me to give advice? I just need you to listen first. Get my shit off. I need to vent it out, so I don't say it like this when I confront the person, right? Yeah. So that's an emotionally intelligent way of looking at things. And I guess that's where my judgment comes in, as you at your age, how you don't know that right now. And I understand that she's been in a pressure cooker. She's a doctor. That's all pressure. She's holding her household. And what Heavenly said, that probably would have set me off too. I definitely do. I understand, Tina.
And it's the fact that Heavenly, she does things that are so below the belt, but because she does it like this, when you react, it's like, well, oh my God, you're doing too much. So they all were telling Simone to calm down. Whole time, Heavenly, you're repeating something I said to you in confidence as my friend around something that you know I am struggling with right now in my household. You know that I am at my wit's end. So Heavenly got everything for everybody. That is true. And no, it's not fair. It's not fair, but Heavenly also did not fight fair. And so I think that Heavenly should have never let that shit come out of her mouth. And unfortunately, Simone was in a place at that time, at least, right? Where like, you really can't say nothing too much and nothing about that situation is probably going to send her to, the outer fucking limits, basically.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah.
that's just what I wanted to really touch on about this relationship with Simone and this triangle between Simone, Jackie, and Heavenly. And I agreed with Simone. At some point, you have to, like, yes, both of us did things that were out of character, but what she said to me, what she did to me was worse. And that's what Simone wasn't getting. So I feel at a certain age in your life, you should have the emotional regulation to understand when you're doing too much or going out. And I think that's the conversation. It was like either you're on my side or you're my side, and there was no nuance that we were seeing.
I think that Simone definitely should have packed it up and gone home, right? I think that Simone definitely, I would have loved to see her husband step in. I would have loved to see someone,
Girl,
baby, let's wrap it up and call it a night. You feel me? And Simone popping off ain't new news to nobody.
absolutely not. But where was Cecil? Like, he always in a corner somewhere. What are you trying to say at this point, girl?
Watching. They was all over there watching. And it's like, I think that I know that I probably would have felt embarrassed to be amongst my colleagues and to be acting in that way. I'm clear about that.
If anybody is going to calm you down or understand, you would think it would be your partner. Yeah?
Your man. Yeah, your partner.
Can I say something about that?
Yes, back. Please go ahead.
I think that Cecil didn't say anything because Simone's always like, you don't support me, which he doesn't. So he's thinking, if I go over there and disagree with her now or try to say, oh, you're doing too much, she's going to say I'm not supporting her again. But that's not an excuse for him. I'm not, like, he's wrong. He should be the one to say something. But I don't think he has a place to say something now because of how long he's been not in her corner or not supportive of her.
I think that people have to learn how to be more creative. You know what I'm saying? Because it very easily could have been, baby, these bitches is tripping. Well, I don't want him to call them bitches, right? But like, baby, these women is tripping. Let's get the fuck. Let's go home. We came, we saw. Let's get the hell up out of here. Fuck this shit. We ain't got to be here. It's a privilege for them. Like, he definitely could have matched her energy enough, but also still escorted her the fuck out the goddamn establishment. You know what I mean? Like, I think people have to learn how to be creative in the way that they de-escalate people. And I think that everybody needs to take a mental health first aid course, right? Sometimes you got to match the person. You got to match it. It doesn't mean that you agree with it, but you match it, right? To help them feel like you are aligned with them, and then you can de-escalate that situation better. So yeah, I feel like that whole situation, I actually do feel like Heavenly was wrong to tell that lie the way that she told it. And I do think that Jackie should have just taken a stance around the question that was explicitly asked. She said she shoved her. Did you think that was that she was a threat? No, that didn't happen, and it should have never been said. There was misunderstanding on both sides. Bitch, don't piss me off.
I wish you would have just told the truth. Like, after seeing the footage, I can see how Heavenly could probably take that as a push or something, or she removed her hand forcefully, and Heavenly also over exaggerated what the incident was. She could have taken something diplomatic like that.
That would have pissed me off though, as your friend, because how could Heavenly perceive? How could Heavenly perceive me taking her hand off of me as me shoving her? No, the
Right.
truth
Well,
is,
I guess what you're saying, clean up the language.
correct.
You know what I mean? Because honestly, if somebody did that to me, I would be like, and push my arm, I'd be like, "What's up, girl? What's up?"
Right.
You know what I mean? So even though everybody here knows that Heavenly is not a great person, I'm gonna be fair. I'm definitely gonna be fair about it. And did we just wrap this up? Like, not wrap this up. I'm saying, did we wrap up the Steve conversation? Like, what was I missing about Steve?
So what I said a lot about Steve, but basically my stance on Steve and Mimi is Steve is a misogynist. I don't like him as a person from what I've seen from him, right? The fact that his first insult to Eugene was, you want to be one of the women, you're Eugene Bush. You are trying to emasculate him, which I don't even think that's a real thing, right? But you're attempting to feminize him as an insult, which speaks to what you think about femininity. So I don't fuck with him. And any woman that can be married to a man like that, I think that says something about you as well.
So I had a flashback to Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like, they used to say that all the time.
Patricia, you're not Peter. You're Patricia.
Thank you, girl. Like, So honestly, when I saw that, I was just like, par for the course for Bravo. Like, it happens across all the franchise. So I was just like, most of these men are misogynists. Like Curtis definitely is. And if they don't bring up that King conversation that Curtis had, I'm gonna be real pissed.
King is not there. King is not there. So they're not going to.
So let's talk about that real quick. Did y'all talk about the people's? The girls talking
him taking
to
a picture with King
and accepting cars from King. Did we talk about that?
No.
Because I'm sorry, you're not gonna sit here and lecture me about how you and your husband are good when you have gone behind my back. And her and Quad were good from what I saw. And except, because it's bribery. You knew this, and the way Contessa and Toya were talking about King, and even a little bit Brandy, it seems like she's sprinkled in there too, is that they know more about their breakup than what Quad is letting on. And I saw Quad getting upset, and as she has a right, because how dare you, as a friend of mine, talk to an ex before coming to me. Girl, I'm sorry. That pissed me off.
I have conflicting feelings about this, right? And I say this as a person that when I got divorced from my ex-husband, all of those friends stayed with him. I do think that there is a level of like, there should be cutoff in certain situations, okay? Quad and Dr. G, where we know that there was abuse in that dynamic, why are you kicking it with that man? That says something about you. Period. Full stop. King, I don't know that we know anything other than it didn't work out. He seemed to no longer be into her. And
that he was talking about her on social media. I'm sure they saw about that.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? But like, y'all being spiteful, whatever, if Eugene developed a friendship with him, I don't think that he necessarily has to throw his friend away. Now, if it were me, I absolutely would be like, you need to fucking choose. But that's also why I feel like it's really important. This is why I don't do the whole like couples being friends with couples and whatever. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not friends with anybody that, like, I've never been friends with anybody that's a couple with me and Chris, like that's never happened. But I will say that I'm very cautious about you need to have your own fucking friends separate from my own fucking friends, because I don't need you integrated into every part of my life and every part of my social being to the point where you're fucking up my friendships because of whatever happens between us. So I think that there's a danger sometimes to integrating your spouse into certain group dynamics, because then you don't get to dictate how those people choose to still be in a relationship or not with that person.
I hear that. I do. I'm not sure how long you were married. I think the longevity of the marriage does carry weight. I think that's King's relationship with this group is totally different than Dr. G's. They were already established friendships. You know what I mean? That is a little, it's wrong, but I understand how it was a little trickier to not just cut him off completely.
Mm-hmm.
King, however, he just got here.
That's
like,
true.
were y'all really kicking it that hard to where y'all accepting cars as a gift? What I'm saying is, this is why I excite Toya so much, and this is why.
I would say that the Dr. G thing, it just depends. Because me, personally, I'm not friends with abusers, point blank, period. I find out you're abusing someone, I don't care if I've known you my entire life. You're done. You're done. You're done.
Wrap
But
it up.
that's me.
Same. I will say that there are some things that I am morally pretty black and white around. That's not everything. I'm not gonna lie. But there are some things that I'd be like, yeah, I can't fuck with it. I can't rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that you're right that longevity of the relationship does have an impact. So we got a question, though. I want us to answer it as like our final thoughts on here. So Dark Skinned Lover Girl asked, everyone keeps saying that Huda has mental health issues, but when is it just bad behavior? Honestly, I think it's bad behavior. And I'm not saying that I think that a lot of us have mental health issues. I mean, we live in the United States. How could you not? It's scary out here, okay? And I think that a lot of us are having reactionary things that are like normal adaptive reactions, get diagnosed very easily as mental health conditions. That said, the people that are calling that girl a narcissist, I know for a fact that those people are not fucking people that actually can diagnose anyone. And they only know what they know about narcissism from the fucking internet. Okay. I think that, and I also don't think that things are mutually exclusive, but I will say, so I think that you can have a mental health diagnosis and be engaging in bad behavior. And here's where the nuance comes in, right? People want to say they're engaging in bad behavior because they have a mental health diagnosis. Baby, that's ableist as fuck. There are lots of people with mental health diagnoses that do not engage in bad behavior. There are lots of people with narcissism, histrionic disorder, all the sorts of things, right? Antisocial, that go to therapy, do the work, and don't exercise bad behavior. Trying to use that as a cover is ableist as fuck. Stop that shit. If she has a mental health diagnosis, is completely separate from the fact that she has bad behavior. Might it be impacting her emotion regulation? Might it be impacting the way that she default shows up in the world? Sure. But is it the cause of bad behavior? No. Though they can exist together, it is not going to make you do those things. There are something that's very, not probably publicly known, is there are lots of people that live with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, that also deal with part of the obsession and the compulsion is harmful behaviors. I'll put it like harmful behaviors towards children. That's not uncommon for that to show up when OCD is also present. You know what they do? They go get treatment. They go get help because they don't want to engage in bad behavior. So they are not, while they can coexist, one is not because of the other. We're not going to do that. Wait. Oh, there was an undercover Huda fan in Ginger's live. Girl, they wasn't undercover. They was not undercover. They was not undercover. They was loud up on the panel. Girl, shut the fuck up. For y'all, those of y'all that weren't in Ginger's live, y'all don't know what we're talking about. But I was like, girl, bye. They was making every excuse in the fucking book. But I do think
sad I missed it.
Listen, it was messy, Nikki. It's so nice just being a panelist sometimes and being messy. I can say whatever I want to say. It ain't my fucking, I mean, I be saying what I want to say on my live, but y'all get the point. It's just a level of like, oh, I don't got to do nothing but show up and yap, right?
But you're a professional. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen. Baby wanting me to keep it together. Baby. Sometimes I'm just going to say whatever I want to say because I'm not on the clock all the time. Okay. But yeah, I think that there's too often a run and a rush to like blaming mental health disorders for someone's behavior rather than recognizing like they might be in tandem, they might be coexistent, but that doesn't mean that one precipitates the other. If that makes sense. Any final thoughts, y'all, about Houdini and Tay Tay and all the things we've talked about tonight?
Pick me. Anyway.
Okay. Oh, and let me say one more thing. To be clear, Nikki, I think that Simone was out of line at the event. I don't think it needed to go there. And I also understand why. Nothing that they did actually worked. And I understand why she went to the outer limits. Okay. And please give us your thoughts.
In the words of Andy Cohen, Miss Quad, you got it. They can never make me hate Miss Quad, okay? Let me tell y'all something. It's Miss Quad forever for me. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Because Dr. Simone, I'm on your ass because how dare you? I don't care what beef you had with this lady to bring her abuser on the show and call it revenge because y'all been beefing for 5 seasons. Get over yourself. Ma'am, you're almost 60. Come on. Dr. Jackie, you're also almost 60. Come on. Y'all supposed to be the golden girls. Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, and y'all not even showing these younger ladies how to act. For shame, because how dare you befriend my abuser, and then to even make things worse, Simone befriends T. And I know Quad and Toya's relationship been up and down. Y'all befriending T, the new girl. Remember, we spoke about this the last time Tina was live, how T had to remind Dr. G that he was mic'd up. What does that tell you? That abusers never change. They just change their victims. Clock that. They just changed their victims. I said what I said. Listen, Houdini, Taylor, Frankie, to the Paul. These are just non-black women who are ghetto as fuck and got on TV. Listen to me, because if this was black women, would you be watching them? Nah, you might be watching them, but you'd be watching them on Zeus, not Hulu or the P to the cock. Okay, I said what I said. They're giving these YT women, these non-black women, these platforms. Simply, here's the thing. Here's where reality TV, I wouldn't say they went wrong, but when reality TV linked up with social media and likes, that's when shit went down south. Y'all putting these influencers on TV because y'all want fucking ratings, right? Putting influencers on TV. I'm telling you right now, I hopped into Love Island probably on their worst season because y'all had nothing but influencers on a fucking island. Come on. Y'all bringing people on TV simply because they have ratings. And I'm watching you too, the acting industry, because y'all giving people roles simply because they got followers and can't act worth a damn. Get off my television. Also, get off reality TV. Because why are you being rewarded for your bad behavior just because you have a following And that's gonna give them all the clout. ABC, side eye, major side eye. Y'all know what she was doing. There was a guy, he said that he is a black man. It was somewhere on TikTok. He said he's a host of Bachelorette. ABC, of course, knew what happened because the pilot of the show, which I went back and rewatched, literally spoke about it. And then after the whole debacle, she gets pregnant with Ever. And if y'all don't remember, before the pregnancy with Ever, she shared with the group that she had an ectopic pregnancy. So she miscarried and continued with that man until Ever was born. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. Shout out to Ever, because you know kids are innocent in all of this. But if sis had left, because the red flags were there from the very beginning, and her friends were even saying, you kind of like the chaos, you like the toxicity. Taylor Frankie Parr, with Dakota Morriston, and look at us now in 2026. And then the soft swinging scandal that made the Mormon wives, the secret lives of Mormon wives, is what it is today. All right, because they're quote unquote more progressive, right? They're the breadwinners. Their husbands are stay-at-home husbands. Everybody and their mama finna get a divorce, which is a good thing, because Jordan, I can never stand you. Jace, you're a predator. And here's the thing that blew my mind, Tina. I went back, right? I watched the pilot episode. You know I like the context. So it comes to the part where Michaela introduces herself. Hi, my name is Michaela. I'm 23 years old. I met Jace when I was 16. We've been married for 4 years, which means you married him at 17. He got you pregnant out of wedlock at 16. And I ain't think nothing of it. And I'm sitting here rewatching in 2026 like, hey, Paso? It's giving like the America's Next Top Model stuff. Like, we young watching this stuff, right? Now I'm 30, you know, frontal lobe fully developed. And I've been in therapy for 3 years, so sis is grown. I've done the work. And I'm looking at this like, it's been in my face the whole time, and I ain't even know it. Girl, this a mess. Last thing I'm gonna say, how dare any of y'all align with King after seeing how Quad is hurt? Where is the girl's girl? What am I talking about? This is reality TV, and half of y'all are picking me. Have a good night.
Thank you, Anne, for your final thoughts. I also want to say, like, I think a lot of these women are not actually friends. Like, I think that we're expecting some of the women in Married to Medicine to have loyalty that would not exist because they're not friends, right? Even on the first part of the reunion tonight, Mimi says, I still don't know who Toya is, right? Like, we don't have a foundation for a friendship. I will say that was also probably why Toya was not receptive to her. She could hear Quad and Contessa, but bitch, I don't know you. So why are you speaking, right, about my marriage? And given that has always been the point of attack for fans and from the women on the show, and the fact that she was in the peanut gallery with Heavenly, I think is also part of the trigger, right? But I think a lot of these women are not friends. And so we're asking them for loyalty to people that are their coworkers. And I have very hard boundaries around not hanging out with my coworkers outside of work. So I don't know how they approach these women. Like, do y'all even see each other when the cameras are not up? Do y'all actually have friendships? I don't know, you know? And so what are we really asking for from them? Do they like each other or do they work together?
You know what? No, you're right. I had to learn that boundary the hard way. I befriended somebody at work, and mind you, it was a mostly female-led office because, of course, I'm in the medical field. I'm a medical assistant. The minute she got promoted, she turned on me. Like when milk gets spoiled. That's how bad it was. When I tell you my little achy breaky heart was broken because she called out my character the minute she got promoted. And mind you, you would not have this promotion if the other women in the office did not even put you where you at. How we forget where we come from so quickly. And that's when it dawned on me, and my therapist really helped me work out with this trauma. This been your character this whole time, and you used us to get where you at. You ain't shit. You know who you are, and that's all I'll say.
Thank you, Anne, for your final thoughts. Dark Skin Love Girl, you're funny. You see me, I'm like, let me take off my jewelry. I told y'all that I was staying in my day clothes. I was gonna stay in my daytime clothes until it was time for me to get off, because I was gonna motivate. I've been wanting to get undressed for the last half hour. I've been rocking with y'all anyway. Okay, Nikki, give me your thoughts.
So to Anne's point, which I think is great, it's very interesting because there's so many people ask for loyalty and they give none, and so if you're not friends, what are you doing on the television show pretending as if you are? And I think that is why some of these shows have been canceled or need to be rebooted and redone. Like, come on. And another thing that I thought about was, what was it? It'll come back to me. I will say, when I saw Simone having that meltdown, or whatever you want to call it, when I was watching her do that, I was watching somebody that was not, what set her off was heavenly, yes, but I felt that she was screaming for a lot more than heavenly.
Correct.
And that made me feel bad. And at some point, Simone, you're going to have to stop looking at everybody else and live in your truth. Stop looking for other people to tell you what to do, and you do what you want to do. Because that's why you're screaming and nobody can calm you down.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've witnessed your own kids, and then you paraded them at the end of the season talking about, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said that about my mom. Those boys resent you just like Cecil does. They resent you.
Mm-hmm.
And they have no reason to. It's because your man is talking to your sons about your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's messed up. So while you befriending other people, I'm not saying it was her. I don't think she was, I don't know. But she definitely as bad. You brought on somebody's abuser as revenge. You befriended the new wife. What does that say about you, Simone?
Correct.
Y'all can't talk about it. That's why I don't pay attention to anybody. All their characters are horrible at certain points. They're horrible. So, I just feel like, oh, that's what I wanted to that Anne brought up, the whole social media thing. This is why the shows are getting really bad and redundant, especially for the older people, the older watchers, because we're just seeing like y'all doing things for the fans now. You're letting the fans dictate what you would normally do in real life. And why I watched Married to Medicine, like why I think it's still the best franchise, is that they don't have to do that. They actually have careers, and that's what makes it interesting. But if you notice, ever since social media really started popping, how many housewives do we have to see go to jail? Like, we didn't have this when it was first coming up. Yeah, we had little scandals here and there, but now everybody going to jail. The white people too.
Not my girl Wendy. Don't speak that on her.
No. You know what? No, I don't claim that. Wendy, if you did it, I agree. Insurance fraud is the biggest fraud scam in America. Get them all. Take all the monies. Take them all down. I don't care about that one. But you sitting up here on a couch, Karen, talking about Wendy. Girl, you could have off somebody. How dare you sit on a couch? How dare you sit on a couch and judge? And still be mad at something that, like, you still haven't explained. Nobody still knows. Oh, Wendy knows. Do I? I hate to bring that up, but that pissed me to the nth degree, and is why. And like, I'm just like, yo, I can't stand the fact that they brought Karen back so fast, because I wanted to like her, And what y'all did was a disservice because now her fans are just like, absolutely not. So the lessons need to be learned in how we start viewing and speaking on the aspect of social media. And I need these grown women to get it together. Any person that comes on us that is grown, joins a housewives married to medicine franchise, anything like that, you better dig through your past, because best believe what we have learned by watching these new reality shows, everything's going to be caught to light, especially if they don't like you. So that's all I'm going to say.
Let me just tell y'all my favorite quote. One of my favorite quotes. It's not my only favorite quote. One of my favorite quotes is from Audre Lorde. And it is, and I've said this to y'all before, if I did not define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies of me and eaten alive. The fact of the matter is, you don't have to have a sparkly clean background, but what you do have to do is own your shit. You do have to be so secure within yourself that you cannot be rattled by other people's definitions of you, because you know who the fuck you are. Right? I
want you to comment on this. The fact that Heavenly learned about her son's arrest on social media. What does that tell you?
That there's not a relationship there where he felt like it could be told directly to them. And explicitly, right, because she said that Damon kept it from her. So Damon knew, she didn't know.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to tell her anything
that
either.
Relationship where Heavenly could not be trusted to have that information. How was she going to react, respond? Who was she going to tell? Whatever it was, whatever they thought was going to happen, it was the root of it is they did not trust her to have that information.
And but the way she like the way that people like agreed when she said, well, my husband doesn't tell me everything, and I don't tell him everything about your kid.
Yeah, they're weird for that. I feel like I can't understand that. Like, if there's, my kids ain't watching. There have been times, right, where it's like, I don't want daddy to know. And I will tell them that I'm going to hold that. But if I feel like it has to do with their safety, I'm going to tell daddy that daddy does not know. Right?
Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But that's information, because Heavenly is such a public figure, that you would think at some point she should not learn that about on social media. So what it tells me is, Heavenly, your marriage ain't all what it's up to being, ma'am. And as a matter of fact, you would have came out cleaner had you stopped attacking other people and concentrated on your journey, finding your son or getting him back, or that's how you win votes, girl. That's all I'm saying. And you can drop me. I'm good.
Okay, love you down. Thank you for your final thoughts. Dark skin lover girl, I don't know what you're talking about, so you'll have to DM it to me for me to talk about it next time, because I literally have zero idea. Okay, Bad, give me your final thoughts, my love.
I don't even know. All I know is Simone and Jackie in the friendship. Please, if not for yourselves, for us, end our suffering. I can't stand to see these old biddies bicker anymore.
Why are you calling them old?
Because, well, maybe just Jackie's old. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just tired. They argue almost every season about the same thing, about Jackie being a fence humper. Who cares? At this point, you know. You are torturing yourself because you know. It's up to you.
That makes me have a question, Bad, and I'm going to let you have all your time, I swear. But like, if they have this argument every season and they've been friends for 30 years, is Jackie really a fence humper, or that's who she pretends to be on TV?
You know what? You might be right, but I don't care either way. If you're not my friend the same way off camera as you are on camera, we're not friends for real. It's fake. It's fake, and I don't like that. I can't do fake. Toya, girl, I be trying. I really try, because I feel like in a lot of ways I'm similar to Toya. I don't be yelling at my friends like that and getting in their business, but I do think that people need to stay out of her and Eugene's relationship, because clearly they're happy with it. And if you're so miserable with yours that you're worried about theirs, maybe self-reflect instead of project. That's all I can say about that. I don't talk about that girl from the Hell Island. I don't talk about her. So I don't really have anything to add to that. I think that's all I have for today. I don't know. Married to Medicine, it is one of the best shows on Bravo, though. I must give it to them. They deliver great TV. But I also, that was what I was going to say. I agree. They are co-workers. And the only person on Bravo that seems to be able to accept that and doesn't mind people knowing that is Stacey on Real Housewives of Potomac. And that's my girl. I love Stacey down. Because Stacey's like, I'm showing up to work. I'm showing up to collect my check. Y'all are here to make fake friends. I'm not going to be your fake friend. I'm making money. Like she always says, I know how to stay rich. And that's all I can say about that. They just need to accept everybody is not your best friend. Some people are just your work friends.
Listen, I think Stacey is fucking hilarious, and I agree. I don't yell at my friends like that either. First of all, I'm not going to say I would never. There have been moments where I've gotten escalated with Chris in front of shared company, but it takes a lot for me to get there. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably been a handful of times. We are friends, dark skin love girl, but I will say I don't call my friends raggedy bitches. So the fact that she calls them, those are not her friends in her head. Those are not her friends. They're not her friends. Nope. They need to all just accept it and move on.
Yes.
I love that. Okay. Thank you, Bad, for your final thoughts. You're so hilarious. I love having you on my panel.
I love being on the panel. It's my favorite time to yap. My dad is happy that he doesn't have to hear it anymore because he don't care about none of these shows, but he was hearing it.
And tonight, you didn't even get no damn restrictions. Nobody reported you with a minor, Bad.
Praise be. I can't believe it. Because you know they be hating on me.
They be hating on my girl, y'all. Okay, Gigi, give me your final thoughts, my friend.
Hello. So I have very random final thoughts. Simply because Hulu channel, I can't with the whole discourse with the people anymore on social media, like, because I'm convinced it has nothing to do with their frontal lobes anymore and everything to do with just a lack of morality, because I've heard people say that they wouldn't mind kicking a baby or threatening a baby. So I'm just like, y'all are weird. So it is yes, there are people who have said this. Well, so what? If she was a black woman, she would have been praised. And it's like, what? But so I'm just gonna, like, y'all have a special place in hell for y'all. If y'all don't stop yelling at me, I'm sorry, I'm playing Battlefield and talking to y'all. But for my very, very random final thought, you all are missing out on life if you have not had a cinnamon raisin bagel with strawberry cream cheese. And that is my final thought for the night, because that shit is bomb. And y'all need to have that in your lives.
Back in the day when I could eat that shit.
Well, then I'm gonna have another one just for you.
Do it for me.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Do it for me. Okay, I made up for yesterday night, guys, right? Right? I made up for last night. Okay. So
Absolutely.
we are back on schedule. Okay. So I will see y'all this weekend, child. That's what I'm gonna promise. If I come on before then, it'll be a nice surprise. But I will be on Saturday. I love y'all down. I hope that you have a beautiful week. You all deserve it. I hope you have great weather wherever you are. And good times, good friends, good food, good drinks, and great snacks. See you. Bye. Text me. Okay, bye.